morning. Good morning. It looks like the YouTube thing did the same thing again, where if you were waiting for the stream, it didn't work, and then you had to hit refresh. It looks like that's what's going on in the chat. I hope you guys are able to figure that out. I'm sure trying to figure it out, but I'm not actually having a lot of luck with why it does that. But when we got booted last week, I tried to change all my settings to get Crowdcast going, and then they put me back on. And I actually like Crowdcast better, but we have 80 people following over there, and so I am here for the witness. I love it. I love human witness. I think human witness is the only gold in the world. I really do. And I love your witness. I think it's important. And because of that, we do what we can. This is the internet, but then there's the outer net, right? And we have been here since the birth of the internet, and now we are noticing that there's a creation of an outer net. And I get the feeling my content probably be on the outer net a little bit, but only for a while. Only for a while, because the nebulous grows. So I don't see any complaints about audio. So great, sound good here. Thank you much. Some of you might have even tried to text me, but there's my phone right now. It seems to not really work very well. There's a dude on Twitter who is posting photographs of beautiful women throughout history and explaining to you how they're a tranny. And I want you to know that this person has a female avatar. Pretty sure it's a dude. Pretty sure he's a tranny. And I want you to see that field frequency that he's setting up, which is trannies are bad, I'm a tranny. Trannies are bad, he's injecting that vibration. It's fascinating. It's how vaccines work. It is. The safety and the efficacy is how it enters the skin. It's like you'd imagine that there's a vampire cleaning service owned and operated by a family of vampires. That would be the most profitable thing you could do. And if you've seen any of my work or read any of my books on witchcraft or witch hunting, you know what it means. I am a paladin of the grove, ladies and gentlemen. The only people that burn at the stake while I'm on watch are witch hunters. Witch hunters, yes. I want to see the land thrive with old ladies with cats. I want to see the pumice. I want to see the poultice. I want to see the lichen dipped in... wow, James, that's very erotic. Don't say that. I want to see the magic extend itself in its fullest salaciousness and apply. Imagine going to a doctor where this happened to my dad. He was in New Orleans, and this lady stuck his face in her boobs and ran it around, and he was healed. He wasn't sick before then, but he was healed. That salaciousness healed him, and I'm hoping we're going to touch on that a little bit. I'm hoping. Good afternoon, all. Dipped in banana. Yeah, almost dreamy dudes. Almost. Thank you, Hypothesis. Buy a book, says she, and she's right. Yes, they are for sale. You, right now, the password, yes, if you go to JTrue right now and enter the password, holy shit, book cube, black cube. Okay, that's pretty interesting there. I gotta watch out for chat. I'll get distracted here. Osiris, Osiris. If you enter Osiris into the coupon code on my site, you will get 20% off. 20% off. And, if I tell you, it won't be a surprise. Yeah, I need you to order a book right now. I need a new phone. all kinds of things. And you need to join me on Patreon. Yeah, you need to. You need to. You need to. Guys, I'll tell you why. Actually, we'll see if we can get this in. This is like one of the mail questions. Guys, please keep bringing the mail and the questions. I think it's great. In fact, I'd like to maybe consider that we turn it into a little bit of a bit, for the show. I'd like to introduce Pablo. Chad, you're gonna let me know if this is too loud, right? You said it was a little trebly. I bet you that the music is. Let me tell you too. Guys, one of the main reasons why I want to do a show today is because I got this big presentation coming up, and I want to make sure that all my levels are good. So this is a voiceover. I'd like to introduce you to Pablo. Pablo is someone I don't know. Lives in the Republic of Korea. Pablo wrote yesterday, "I am devastated, going offline for a while." Now, before we begin, I really want you to understand that this is not trying to make fun of Pablo at all. If you take it that way, you're really, really misinterpreting what I'm trying to say. However, I will be sort of poking fun at all of humanity, and Pablo just happens to be right there. I hope that's good. Oh, in fact, on that note, getting questions about feuds that I have with Crow, or with that what's that big dildo that says you can't have sex with your wife? I all the feuds that you see, I would like for you to understand that I am an alchemical chiropractitioner. That it's my job. It's in the Golden Dawn. It's my job. It's in my contract. It's in my contract. There's nothing I can do about it. And I don't know who Crow is. I've never seen his face. I've never had a decent human conversation with him. I've had a conversation on air. That's about it. We had a conversation before we started, which kind of was like, wow, but it's a very, very inkling. I don't have enough data about Crow to have a personal feeling about him. I'm glad he's out there. I think that he's helping to expand the mind and the aperture. And I'm going to put his ass on the mat sometimes and go Jake the Butcher on it. I'm going to do that with Owen. I'm going to do that with Balderson. I'm going to do that with anyone that is demonstrating what I believe to be alchemical poor posture. Poor posture. And you get to say that about me. I not only do you get to, people do. And it's great. If anything, it makes my spine straighter. So we're getting to Pablo. I heard you, we're getting to Pablo. When I want you to know that they are equipment. I need them to help your spine. I don't care if Crow likes me or not. And it's not to be offensive. If he and I knew each other, if we had a personal conversation, it would be more than that, okay? And I'd be more worried about that. But until then, I have to use our archetypal sigils that are in the air that you know. And I have to use those to show you some things about your posture. And Crow has very, very poor posture about one thing. And I've really, really focused on that. Owen Benjamin has extremely poor posture about a lot of things. But I focused on one thing. Hard to hear me? Pablo music clip, very loud, hard to hear you. That's 2 minutes ago. Okay, is it good now? It probably is. Thank you for that, guys. Normally the text would be like, but since my phone's broken, I think everything's taking a while. I'm going to hope you guys can hear me okay. If not, let me know in chat, okay? Yeah. He's put his face out there, says Jamie Storch. He's a good guy. Yeah, he is. He's a great guy. I'm not going to prune my hair, Hugh. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right? What I want you to understand, though, is that that's how we work. That's how you gain. There's a gravity around Crow. There's a gravity around Owen. That gravity gives me an orbit that I can sit in. And when I sit in that orbit, I get to see, how does this feel? Is this getting us closer or further away from sovereignty? And so I nitpick. And as I'm nitpicking, I'm making his orbit stronger because he's having to deal with the abuse, the evisceration. Alouette, jonte, alouette. Right? The pulling apart of the pieces is how he becomes gold. It's how he becomes alchemically sound. Now, Crow has said, it's time to ignore people on Twitter now. Probably meant that after me. But hey, I could be totally self-absorbed and think that. That is part of the proof that he needs work. It's part of the alchemical proof. Owen Benjamin freaked the fuck out when we translated Noctiferous, remember? And Luciferous. It's okay. But it shows you that he is not able to accept that kind of crucible. It's too hot. It's too hot. And the reason why it's too hot is because each of us set up this orbit, and this orbit acts as a transducer, creates an electromagnetic field, and that electromagnetic field attracts something, and we call that iron. We call that hemoglobin. We call that circuitry inside ourselves, that you are attracted to me because of the orbit of my belief, my spin, my gravity. Belief is gravity. It's gravity. Sheol, Gaia believes in you, and you feel that in gravity. Sheol is so large, she's able to have something called universal love. She will love all of you the same based on your mass. Interesting. She loves you because you are present here. She loves you because you are present here. You have weight, you have substance, and she loves that. She wants you to stay. She wants you to become her, right? It's Gaia. That's why it's negative. Negative's not bad. It's not. It's actually ground neutral, which we'll talk about. I can't wait to show you this presentation. Oh, I can't wait. Pablo does the same thing Crow does the same thing Owen does the same thing James True does the same thing that every single person who entered our dojo on dojoearth.org does. Set up a witness cannon. Put their blindfold on, smoke a cigarette, and let the shots fly. And each of us honor that person by taking the most direct aim we can. We don't want to fucking nick him. Look how much they bleed. Look how much they freak the fuck out. Right? You want a nice clean kill. You don't want them to suffer. Why? Because Kali cares more for you than anyone out there who's claiming that they're nice, who's claiming that sparing your feelings is somehow compassionate. Sparing your feelings is keeping a secret from you. It's decrypting something right in front of your eyes. And it's mocking you because you can read their face, so you know they're lying. You know they're decrypting something. But they want you to buy it anyway. And they're requiring the field from you to push back enough to expose them, but you can't. You can't expose them. Why? Because they encrypted what it is they're claiming they talk about. One of the guys in dojo was like, James, you don't fucking understand me, so just don't even try. And so I was like, okay, I won't try. I will stop now. And within weeks, he was in pain. Pain. Because I stopped applying direct witness to him. And he was going to others and finding coup. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, everything's great. You're fantastic. And that's shit. I'm not saying you aren't great or fantastic. You are great or fantastic. But it's a field state. It's a flow state. You're either going to have it, you're either going to be in it, or you're not. You're not intrinsically good. Guys, unconditional love is fucked up. Let Gaia do that. She's big enough for that. She can handle that kind of field. You and I can't, and we shouldn't. We shouldn't. Pablo. Pablo, I am devastated, says Pablo, going offline for a while. I want you to start to look. Guys, your compassion's a sonar, and I need you to turn it on. Right now, turn it on, and you would see 1, 2, 3 clues right now. Right now, you'd see 3 clues about who this is, where he's coming from, what it's about. This is one. I am devastated, going offline for a while. Pablo didn't say what he was devastated about. Do you know why? He encrypted it. Yeah, he encrypted it. Why? Because if he didn't encrypt it, you wouldn't give a shit. Why would you not care? Because it would just be, I am devastated because going offline for a while. And then everyone would have been, just scroll. Just scroll. But if you can encrypt it, you create a difference. Remember yesterday? I think it was yesterday. The energy of difference. That equality is the muting of energy, the removal of energy. Pablo is creating a difference here. I am devastated. He didn't use an exclamation point, but I'm devastated. It's more like, I am devastated. I need to sign out for a while. And you're left, the scene closes and you're left with mystery. Something that most of us hate. And because we hate it, and even if you love mystery, you're still left with, oh, what is it? Right? And that is a pressure. It's a vibration, and it's different than the vibration you had before. It's different. The vibration right before Pablo was the tweet you saw right before it, which probably was something like, gee, I really think they're gonna put those bad guys in jail in Washington because these other bad guys, they said they're investigating, right? You see that, and then you see Pablo. I love what Pablo did here, by the way. Here's what I said. Emotion pulls energy by magnetizing iron in the blood. The mystery as to what happened to Pablo is where our compassion, electricity flows. Pablo set up a great circuit here to pull concern. Him leaving created the vacuum to collect prana later on. Do you understand? He's setting up a collector. He's setting up a collector. And inside that collector is a geocache that has what's devastating him. But he has to stand the antenna up really tall so it can emanate and collect. Because it's a deficit, I want you to think about it like a black hole. Like, let's pretend like, oh, that shit's real. But like, think of it like a suction on that antenna. The suction is, what is it? What is it? Mystery, 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 right? It's pulling you in. That pulling you in is collecting particles that are not bound by belief or drama to something else. It's collecting light, static pollen that's blowing around the breeze. And we have a lot of that. Most of us shed that freely all the time. We shed that because we are trying to keep our own prana economy engaged, in check. And so the amount that we fluctuate is going to be based on the environment around us and what kind of collectors we've set up. Pablo is fishing for prana. I am devastated, going offline for a while. He's fishing for prana. He's declaring that what's wrong with him is a secret and that to have access to that was exclusive and you missed it. Do you understand? Those are two forms of, what's that word, FOMO? Is that right? FOMO, fear of missing out, right? It's the same electricity as FOMO, and he's doing a great job. I'm proud that Pablo did this. All of us use our body to create a circuit for collecting energy. Witness. Witness is the only currency we need to survive. We do what is required in society to stay alive. I see health in these games we play with each other. We're learning to share electricity. And I see health with that because Pablo does not live in a collecting environment where he can come out and say, I would like your electricity. I haven't earned it. Just bear me out because he has, but here's how he feels. I require your electricity. I need your electricity. I want your electricity. It doesn't matter. But I haven't earned it. That's what would be there. The encryption is him earning it. It's putting you in usury, pranic usury, to the hypothetical. Check this out. To the hypothetical of what's bothering Pablo. Let's do a mic check, guys. If there's a problem with the sound at all, just let me know, okay? In fact, tell me if it's good. That would actually help. So thanks. Appreciate it. I'm talking to chat right now. I can't get anything in the on the phone here, but I appreciate that. Pablo is a solar collector, but a witness collector. I would like for you guys to stop thinking about flowers as living off the sun. You don't know that. You've only ever in the history, humans have never been able to see a flower without witnessing it. It's never happened. No, you can't say, well, you filmed it. No, because you watched the tape. Stop. Shh. No. Flowers are witness collectors. Flowers bloom because they want you to give them witness. That's why they get so colorful. That's why they turn their genitals literally inside out. Sear and serrate them in vertical cuts. They're like, oh, imagine pulling, don't imagine, fuck, that hurts. Oh, and just slicing your genitals in like hundreds of thousands of little mushroom slits and then turning them inside out and exposing them to the air and blowing on them. Oh, God, that would fucking hurt. Oh, God, that would hurt. That's how bad they want your witness. Your witness is everything. And that's why yesterday, and I'm having trouble doing it, so I'm trying to explain to you what currency is all about. The movement from gold into paper was showing you, guys, stop thinking the gold is the value. Okay? You can keep the gold, but stop thinking the gold's a value. I'm not trying to take away your gold, but stop thinking the gold's a value. Understand that gold is an element that holds witness longer than any other element. Silver is a close second. And the witness that gold holds for thousands and thousands of years is people like King Solomon that's just like, oh God, there's so much gold. Like people that are just freaking out over how much gold they have. Scrooge McDuck, pretty sure that was a real character, right? Would swim in gold. I don't know how he fucking pulled that off. You'd think that would really hurt. Swim in it. His belief in that gold charged that same gold that you have today. You're still feeling that charge. But that charge came from your belief. It came from your collector or emitter. Pablo has a collector up. He's collecting that. Now, I want you to think about compassion as sonar. I've said this before. If you read my book, Best Apocalypse Ever, thank you. If you haven't, I just can't think about it. You're using these things as energy, pranic energy, but your compassion can see people like Pablo. And I want you to step over the gate where you're like, I'm not saying all you guys would do this, but where you're like, oh, look at that virtue liquor. Guilty, I've done this. I want you to step past that. And I want you to see actually how beautiful the pull is. Because if you use your compassion, you can see a lot about Pablo. Pablo, look, the first red mark here, I care 0% about how the other people see me. Pablo's been told that his witness means nothing. Nothing. And so to defend himself, he's saying, I don't care what anyone thinks about me or how they sees me. How they see me. How they sees me. That's actually better. How they sees me. It's like how they anyway. He's telling you that, even though he's coming to Twitter to say, Hey, I'm coming here to check out. It sounds like I'm making fun of Pablo, but I'm not. I'm making fun of the games that we play every day in our Prana economy with each other. Do you understand? Guys, I know this because I do this. Okay? That's how I know. And because I'm not freaking out over, oh God, I hate myself so much. I have enough electricity to analyze my behavior for the most part and correct it. Correct my spine. Why? Because I don't want someone like Crow or someone like Owen to catch me and throw me on the table and chop me up. If they do, I want the autopsy clean, and I want all of you to see, dude, this guy ran a pretty tight fucking ship. I mean, his hair's fucked, and his audio abilities are ridiculous. But come on, his organs are in there. Look at his pancreas. Look, that's a happy pancreas. That pancreas knew what it was doing, right? These centrifugal circuits that we set up show you exactly where we're at. And if you can look deeper, if you can use your compassion, you can see Pablo cares 0% about people, which means he cares 0% about his effect. He's on a mission on this planet. It's a mission. And that mission, right, I'm using my compassion here. And when he posted that, the first tweet saying this, I'm devastated going offline for a while, he posted this from Freya, the Viking Queen. Ascension symptoms. Many will experience a lot of these this year. Ascension of consciousness, 3D, 4D, 5D. Some of you guys get mad because I make fun of 5D. And I think you're right to be mad at that. I think 5D could be great. But I want you to know that 5D is also how you abandon your cockpit. It's how you do it. And we're going to talk about that. Now, you may be a fan of Freya. You may leave this and go, I fucking like Pablo a lot better than James and Freya. And I need you to do that. I want you to find these flowers that give you the most pollen. I want that for you. I want that for you. It's awesome. Now, ascension symptoms. What is symptom? It's a mental feature or physical, indicating a condition of disease. Pablo is sharing this. He shared it like 8 hours before he shared, I have to check out line. I have to go offline for a while. He shared this. He's accepting the symptoms because he wants the disease. Why does he want the disease? Because he doesn't value his own witness. And because he doesn't value his own witness, a sneeze might be coming. Because he doesn't value his own witness, he has no immune system. He's not immune to Freya, I know it's like Freya, the Viking Queen. He's not immune. He thinks he's immune, but he's not. Now, Freya is telling him, your problem, Pablo, is that you have ego association. Your problem is that you're servicing yourself, Pablo. Your problem is duality, polarization, labels, separatism, control, rules, status, materialism, hard work. Pablo, your problem is that you're working hard. Linear thinking, fear, low emotions, fear-based programming, cause and effect, linear thinking, victim mentality. Does anyone notice all the repeats? Anyway. Pablo, if you work hard, you can reach mixed state gateway. That's where you're not actually there, but you're maybe going to try and get there. But then finally, you will embrace unity consciousness and service to others. Yes, it's heart-centered, which is weird because you had to disassociate your ego to get there. But hey, you'll have a high frequency. You'll have flow state. You'll have abundance. You, Pablo, will participate in unconditional sharing. Unconditional, Pablo. You will share your resources and your witness with anyone, regardless of who it is, regardless of what they want, because you, my friend, have ascended. You no longer have strife. You no longer have problems. You no longer have duality. You no longer have materials. You no longer have to work hard, Pablo. You can ascend past this entire plane. What does that really, really sound like to you? And before we say that, Pablo has pinned on his page, bookmark, read, and subscribe, The Satanic Empire, The Eyes of the Devil. pedoempire.org. Now, some of you might say, well, that's a coincidence. Just because he has low ego doesn't mean that he would fall for that stuff and buy that stuff. But yeah, that's exactly what it means. It's exactly what it means. If you leave your heart, someone else will enter. You've created the same vacuum Pablo created by setting up his pole. You've said, the ego is bad. I will leave it. And by doing that, you've created a vacuum inside your hole, a help wanted sign, a free rent sign, or whatever you want. And now anyone and anything else can come in. And you've set up a paradigm where you blindly servicing everyone regardless of their activity is now better. Better. And you, because you're in 5D, will find hyenas jacking each other off at the laundromat and say, I love what y'all are doing with your life. I think it's just really important. And you are living a mutation, a mutated frequency that's just, it's just noise. It's not tone. It's noise. It's not tone. It's noise. This doesn't go away. Abandoning your post looks exactly like service to others, but it feels a lot better to say. When I was in the Navy, was in A school. It's like after boot camp, you go to A school, and then you start standing watch. You said watching boot camp is different, and on fire watch, it was me and someone else, and from midnight until 4, we had to make sure the building didn't catch on fire, but just on floor number 2. And there were, 20 doors on that floor. It was a straight hallway. And every floor had 2 guys. And we were in A school, we were studying, and I was kind of like, well, this is fucked, man. If I have watch at midnight until 4, and then I got to be there at 6:30 for the class, that's going to affect my ability to pay attention. I wanted to do a good job. I did. The stuff I was learning was very technical, and I wanted to master it. And so me thinking that I was helping brought up to the watch captain that, hey, man, why don't we do it where there's like one person on every floor, but then each person on every floor would like check on the other floor, right? Because it's just a stairwell down to make sure that that floor was still there, right? And then half the people are on watch. We're on a protected base in San Diego. There's a fucking McDonald's outside and a Starbucks. Maybe we could do that. That was a terrible idea to say that. I was on mid-watch for weeks and weeks and weeks. My ego had not broken down yet. I had not ascended into the 5D. My service to others had not set in to override my individual sovereign thinking. Abandoning your post looks exactly like service to others, but feels a lot better to say. It's true. That Pablo will get credit for leaving his cockpit because Fry will tell him you've ascended now. You've ascended so much that you're going to join that circle jerk of hyenas because you're like, hey, equality. Who knows? Maybe it's the key. And you've left. You've gone. You've abandoned it all. I didn't mean to lose it. Well, maybe I will. Belief is a force. It's a force. Trauma, not Drama attracts belief. Why? If belief is a force and drama attracts belief, why? Why does drama attract belief? And the answer is because drama burns calories. So, why would burning calories attract so much belief? Why is this its own gravity? Why are people acting salaciously, even if it's fake, so much more attractive to our witness than anything else? I love this couple because they're pretending to be fighting. This is like a clip art thing. So they're like sitting right next to each other, and look how disappointed she is. Frank just doesn't get me anymore. Fuck you, Frank. Yeah, whatever. I love this kind of stuff because this is showing you the kind of games that Pablo plays. It's showing you the kind of games you play and the kind of games we play. And again, why do we play them? Drama burns calories, and calories is burning your will. Your willpower is your belief. You are suiciding your belief. You're walking it out on stage, and you're killing it. You're killing it with drama. You're killing it with tension. And that death, that sacrifice, becomes a motor, and that motor creates a pull, an electromagnetic pull, just like anything else. It's an electromagnetic pull. Your belief creates this samoluminescence kind of gravity, doesn't it? And it creates these different spots. It creates these different kind of orbits. I wonder if I can stop this. These circles, which the old way of thinking would tell you are electrons, these circles are actually probability witnesses, aren't they? That if you were to truly understand, like if we could understand let me get back to me. If we could understand what electrons are the most, we understand them at best right now as probability waves, right? That there's a certain probability that something will happen there. And I'm here to tell you that that probability is fucking belief. That there is a percentage chance. The reason why there's a percentage chance that the electron will appear here more than there's a percentage chance it will appear here is because everyone who's observing that electron has more belief. They've put more chips into that position. And if you break this apart, you're looking at quantum mechanics. You're looking at the entire theory explained. Why the double slit experiment is the way it is. Why by not looking, you see a field interference, wave patterns, and then by looking, you're seeing the particles. That by seeing the particle determines which way it goes. And setting up all these experiments where it's like false positive reverse witnessing, false positive after the fact witnessing, even those are locked in time. So there's no way you're going to know. There's no way you're ever going to have a hypothetical double slit experiment. It's impossible. Stop trying unless you assume that witness is meaningless. But quantum mechanics has told you the entire time that not only is witness not meaningless, it's literally everything. Everything. That these particles are showing you scientifically, objectively, in whatever zetetic way we can best see these things, they're showing you where our belief is. We create these orbits around ourselves. Others join them because of the power of our belief. And I want you to know who joins them the most. Most of the time, what joins these things are opposition. Opposition. That what gives this thing shape, what gives this belief shape, is the opposition around it. That opposition is so excited by what it has. And what does it have? It creates a place to sit for the rejection. You are looking at a center of belief, you, surrounded by rejection, doubt, and rejection. The people that are most pulled to you are having the deepest issues with their rejection of what you're saying. And it will look like that they're a fan, will look like that they agree with you. But you're providing them this kind of tension that they need to feel their witness come to life. It dilates them because of this objection, because of that opposition. I'm trying to get you to see that what you think is your enemy is the very thing that's giving you shape. It's the very thing that's giving you a boundary. And that your beliefs are circuitry motors. That your gears are setting up your will, and your belief's going to either withstand the test of time or it's not. It's either going to be eviscerated or it's going to last. It's just going to keep going. And we get these ideas, they're so complex, and some people have so much power behind their beliefs that you end up with something you never even imagined was possible. Every single thing that we have ever discovered in science, math, religion, philosophy, zetics, first came from belief. Every single motor, every single electrical action, every single transistor, every single circuit came from someone believing that this would happen, that would happen, that would happen. That the reason why you put up your collector, the reason why Pablo chose Twitter to put up his collector was because he believed that it would work. Whether Pablo sees this stream or not, and I doubt he will because he doesn't follow me, he's getting that prana right now. It's working. And who is Pablo? He's a sexy surfer, according to his username. He's devastated and going outline for a while. He's scared of the satanic agenda, and he wants to ascend. He's showing you his symptoms. And most of us would see that and go, what a pathetic game to play. But that's the game that he has to play because we keep thinking witness is meaningless. We keep insisting it doesn't count for anything. But we put ourselves in the most awkward positions you could ever imagine to garner witness. We collect it with our own antenna, and that antenna is going to be whatever it takes to get fed. This is a living, unanimous prana economy of energy. If everyone valued their witness, the value of that energy would go up. If everyone shits on their witness, the value of that energy goes down. As more and more are ascending into the hive, their witness becomes inconsequential, right? And you see this with credentialing. Well, who are you? Who are you to say this about this thing or about that thing? And they're instantly telling you, you need to provide me with a credential from another person that I don't know. See, I need my credentials to come from a pronoun that neither of us know. I need a hypothetical person to approve you before I can talk to you. And you don't catch that unless you're really, really pouring the compassion in. He's telling you, I need the hive to approve. You haven't been credentialed by the hive yet, so I can't approve, consider, think about, or analyze anything that you've said. That's what happens when you devalue your witness so much that you end up latching on to a hive to get it. And I don't think that this is even... I think it would be judgmental of me to say that's a bad thing. I don't know what's going to happen in the long future. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I know that me personally, I've never felt like I've ascended less. I felt like I've immersed. To me, the 5D is immersion. It's not ascension. It's sinking deeper into your ego and deeper into your witness. That the deeper you sink into your cockpit, the less tempted you'll be to pretend when times get hard. I want you to think about it. You're on that post alone because you're alone on your watch. You're alone in your cockpit. You're out there on the post alone. It's cold. You're on the wall. You're hungry. You don't want to be there anymore. And you can't just leave. You can't just say, look, I just give up. This is just too hard. That'll never work. People in the barracks, those around you, see, there's the witness again. The force of the witness is so strong that you can't just leave. That'll never work. So you spend hours up there grueling on a cross, but you're standing watch. You're on a cross in your body. And you get tired. Why are you tired? Because you said you don't care what anyone thinks about you. Because you've taken the only pollen this world has and you've called it worthless. So of course you're not going to care. So you're up there on that cross and you already don't care. You've lost your reputation. You can't afford that field. Reputation is a field. It's a field state. You have to maintain these field states. Reputation, pride, ego. Because if you don't, you will find yourself saying, while you're up there on the wall, you're not going to say, you know what, I'm tired, I'm going to abandon myself. You don't have the electricity to afford that. That's an expensive proposition to tell yourself. You're going to think. You're going to think. You're going to think, you're going to think, you're going to think, and you're going to see an idea. And that idea is service to others is greater than service to self. And you start to think on that. And you think you're thinking, but what you're really doing is you're unloosening the hatches to your cockpit. And you're like, service to self. Yeah, where we go one, we go all. All for one. One for all. You begin to adopt communism. You never say that word. You never, ever, ever say that word. But you begin to think about, gosh, how much others are suffering. And here I am out here alone, and I could be helping them. And then you're like, yeah, I could be helping them. My God, it's selfish of me to be here. My God, it is so egotistical of me to stand here in this really, really cold morning, this posture with these boots, and everything's all wet because of the fog. It's just so selfish of me to stand here. I could go back to bed and service others. I could help keep those barracks warm by crawling under the covers and emanating my heat for everyone else to survive. My God. And you build this entire political system like a field. The exact opposite is now forming a fashion field around you. And that fashion field is service to others. As if they're different. As if service to yourself was somehow antithetical to service to others. And that's bullshit. But the stronger your field is, the more others will find optimism, enthusiasm, charisma, glow, belief. Your light shines so bright at that point that you become, I don't know what it is about him, but he just has this glow. No, you're watching the motor, an efficient, badass motor, do what it's designed to do. That's all. And that's how you're servicing others. You're servicing others by walking around going, this is how I keep my motor clean. Listen. And you tell them that. And when you see, where is that thing? When you see this kind of acting, watch this. The pretend, the drama, the intrigue. God, he's so affected. He is so salaciously affected. So salaciously affected. Your compassion sees through them. You know that that's acting. You know that there's something underneath this facade. And if your electricity is strong enough, your plasma can penetrate through that facade and see what's really going on. This lady's enjoying herself. Okay, I know she's acting, but I want you to pretend like this is real. She's enjoying herself. She's enjoying herself. She has dessert. She has dessert and espresso. This is fun for her. And you're going to look at it superficially. You're going to see that outer coating and go, you can't call that fun. She's having a terrible time. Pablo is destroyed. James, Pablo is destroyed. And you have to service others right now. Right now, you have to service others. Because look at Pablo. And it's universal love, James, so you don't get to ask or what. No. No, James, why are you doing that? Come on. Look at Pablo. James. Come on. He's devastated. You ran him offline, James. You're the one that did it. You're the one that did it. You have a field now that's contagious. Everyone around you's decided that's the way to go. Everyone around you's decided that the 5D is what you want. That that's the way you go, is with the 5D. And go 5D, but no, not but. Go 5D. I know that eventually people will have enough electricity to eviscerate you. And I know that alchemically, if you have enough electricity, you will recognize that as respect. You will recognize that as someone who's seeing the potential in you. If I don't see the potential in someone, I stop critiquing their posture. I don't critique one's posture. I don't. I critique crows still. It's weird. You would think superficially, right? You're looking at that going, well, no, it just means that he hates those people. No, I'm orbiting those people. It's not hate. Yeah, I mean, you can call it hate. I get why you call it hate. But it's gravity. And that gravity is a force of belief. It warps fucking time and space like nothing else does. Nothing else. It warps time and space. Belief is the most powerful force in the world. Believe it. Believe it. Oh, poetry contest. You ask my heart to your Aztec lottery. A chance mention in a magazine nobody will ever read. Oh, the games we play, like whores on the street, for the love of poetry. Okay, I had some more mail. Where's that mail? Did I have... Tell me I have the mail. Tell me I have the mail. Hang on a second. Is it? No. No, where's the mail? I had some more mail. Okay, sorry. Hit the wrong button again. Thanks for letting me test this out, guys. I'm hearing some complaints about the music too loud. I'll definitely fix that. And that's good to do. Yeah, I didn't mean to play that right then. It was supposed to be like a surprise, and I just blew it. See, I only get one chance to show you something. And when I do that, it's just like, oh, man. But that's why I wanted to do this today. I don't want to screw up this presentation. On the electrical immunity. It's talking about the electricity of your immune system. And you guys can sign up for that if you join me on Crowdcast. My page on Crowdcast.io is going to be posted in the chat here, I bet you, pretty soon. And we will go from there. You guys have a great weekend. I'm sorry I missed this mail slot. I will figure that out. I don't know if to believe you, Adrian, because you say shit all the time and you actually mean something different. So, yeah, that's going to be really hard to trust you. I'm just actually going to remove you. Sorry. For books yes, thank you. Mortality or morality, which is the good one? Yes, Hugh, I think you'll find these vertical and horizontals are actually electrical antenna. That the morality creates those vacuums that cause that stuff to happen. So, all right, guys. Oh, mods. Did you know that? Thank you, sarcastic warlock. Mods. I unblocked everyone last night. Everyone from last season. I trust my mods explicitly with who they block and don't block. In fact, when people ask me, "Hey, the mod blocked me," I'm just like, "Yeah, I bet you deserved it." My mods are excellent. I wouldn't change a thing. Appealing to me to try and say the mods are bad is never going to work. Your best bet, if there truly is a rogue mod, your best bet is to find another mod and tell them, or to appeal to the crowd. But I'm sure you're like Pablo, you're probably saying, "No, the mod came and cut down my hedges and painted my window." Who knows? But mods, I did kind of last night. I had to reset. It really had nothing to do with the people that were blocked. I hope you understand that for us to flip the circuit that we're talking about, everything has to shut off. Everything. And I think that's part of why my phone doesn't work. Star Sorcerer, her phone doesn't work either. There's a lot of this going around. And I'm proud of Star Sorcerer because she and I are both kind of like, yeah, it doesn't work. It's supposed to not do that. In fact, I believe Mercury's in retrograde now. I normally don't bring that up, but it's so fitting because it comes right back up before the solstice. Really, really, really cool. Gonna ask one more time, James. What is that piano music? Still not gonna tell you, Steve. Still not gonna tell you. The piano music is probably, it's probably this, which is a lovely piece called Bladverk Band. Ciarulia. Caerulia. Ciarulia. I'll give you the name so you have that. Bladverk Band. Yeah, we'll end it there. Sorry the show wasn't so smooth. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me get back into the swing of things, though. Can't wait to show you this thing. James, you need to forgive Owen. What do you want to forgive him for, Ghost? What do you want to forgive him for? For telling everybody that they shouldn't try and get up out of the pit? You want to forgive him for that, Ghost? Has Owen said, "Hey, I shouldn't have told everyone that"? Is that what happened? Let me know, because I haven't seen that happen. Nor have I seen him say, hey guys, it's actually okay to have sex with your wives. That'd be great. That'd be great. I think people should have sex with their wives. Women are awesome. I don't want a guy pretending to be a heterosexual telling everybody they shouldn't have sex with their wives. That's fucked up. Those people that can't have sex with their wives because they listen to him, they are now building up a lot of stress and a lot of guilt. Holy fuck. They feel like shit because of that. Guys, that is how demons are formed. When Owen goes on there and goes, I haven't had sex with my wife in 9 weeks. Ugh. He's setting up this paradigm where it's like, look how much I can suffer. And I know he's not even suffering. That's why it's so bullshit. Because there's some of y'all are actually attracted to women. And you're like, wait a minute, having sex with women is bad? And he's like, yeah, it's totally bad. It's the same thing with the fat guys. I don't mind you saying, oh, I haven't spilled my seed in 9 months. I get it. But when you fucking walk around on YouTube or on Twitter bragging about it, like hanging it up on a banner, that's how demons get out. Yeah, demons. You don't want to know why? Because you are going to splooge. And when you splooge, it's going to be in your behind the goat house where your wife's not looking. It's going to be because you set yourself up in this primo thing where somehow it's better to leave your fucking body, He also hates yoga. He's like, don't fucking stretch and don't have sex with your wife. That is fucked up. I'm putting that shit on the table and eviscerating the fuck out of it. I would cut his dick off, but it's not there. You don't do that to people right now. We are trying to raise the obelisk. We don't need people saying, you shouldn't be raising the obelisk, that's bad. The demon thing comes out because when he finally spooges, he doesn't go on Twitter and say, hey y'all, I know that I collected all this prana for how great I am for not splooging, but I went ahead and splooged today. They don't do that. They don't. So you know what happens? All that prana you gave him, and you can't help it because your witness is just leaking. Your witness is leaking everywhere. And all those people that collect that shit, that turns into a demon when they lie. The moment they lie, it changes into the dark force of denial. And now it's attacking them. It's attacking them. And it should, because your witness has integrity. It has integrity. So if you want me to forgive Owen, why? Why do you want me to make it profitable to go around collecting bullshit like that so we can have more demons in the air? How does that help? Tell me how that helps. Who was that? Tell me how that helps. Like in your mind, you're like, oh, what will fix the world is if everyone just decides that, hey, y'all, unconditional love here, okay? Owen says, don't have sex with your wife, okay? Pretend like you never touch yourself. And then when you touch yourself, you make sure no one knows. How is that helping? What's happening is you're seeing the field from me and you feel the strength of it. And you're like, oh, fuck, I don't like this. Why are we holding each other accountable? That's what you're really saying. You're typing in, James, why are we holding each other accountable? And the answer is because I'm not a fucking entertainer. I'm an alchemical chiropractor. And I will fix spines when I see them. And I will stop when you guys say, I don't want to hear this guy anymore. The power's yours. The power's yours. By the way, this entire show completely funded by patrons. Completely funded by them. This would not be happening if not. It would not be happening with not. I also have, since I'm already being a dick, let me go ahead and say this. If you're going to join Patreon, A, please do. Could really use that. It'd be great. B, I'm not going to produce you a special show for Patreon. If this offends some of you, I totally understand. I've thought a lot about saying this, but it's just, I need you to hear this. I can't produce a special show for you for Patreon because that means you're not a patron. Guys, I've already given you something. I'm giving you a show. I'm putting a lot of time into it. Obviously, I have some issues to learn, obviously. But I'm already doing that. And I know in your mind you're thinking, well, yes, I will support you, but I want to give you $6 a month and I want you to produce a new show. And I need you to know that the $6 a month doesn't actually cover the shows that I'm already producing. I'm still love what I'm doing. I love what we're doing. But I need you to understand that I've already paid it forward. That the entire Patreon model is me paying it forward. It's me producing up front. You guys that aren't in Patreon, you are watching this on the backs of the patrons that produce this. And this isn't torture. They get fed from that. They feel charged knowing that they're providing you with a show. That's a prana economy for them too. I cannot set up a future prana economy, though, with patrons who want to come in and say, yes, I'm helping the show, and I'm doing that by giving him $5 a month and asking him to produce another show on top of that. That doesn't actually help the initial show. That helps the show that is private, that's just for you after that. But the entire purpose of Patreon is so you have the ability to produce a show that helps others, because we are raising the frequency, we are raising the spine, we are raising our posture for how we look at and smell electrical prana economies. That's why it's nothing personal. That's why I don't need to forgive someone. There's nothing to forgive. Owen is exercising his economy of prana. Crow is exercising his economy of prana. James True is exercising his prana economy. You can learn that from me. You can learn that from Pablo. You learn that from everybody. I'm not suggesting you should thank me, but I want you to at least suggest that maybe I'm actually doing you a favor by doing all this in front of you, by having this table right here and cutting up the meat so you can see it. So you can see why I butcher the way that I butcher, why I chop this, why I chop that. That's all. You will find yourself sharpened by stone. You will find yourself shined by cloth. Some of you want to shine. Some of you want to be sharp. Be sharp. Be sharp. Because a shiny sword never cuts nothing. Nothing. It just sits there on the wall going, well, that's my sword. I totally bought it. It's like so great. Look how, you want to touch my sword, y'all? I don't have sex with my wife, so can you guys touch my sword? Can we talk about my sword now? Because we're not supposed to have sex with my wife, and I haven't fapped in 8 months. God, I'm such a man. Holy fuck. Right? Love you guys. See you next time.